right. All right, awesome. So Damon, we have done a few of these in the past, different times today, different circumstances. I want to focus though on the positive. I want to focus on solutions and something I keep getting. I've been on a lot of these right now, wondering what's going on, and everybody's asking for the magic script, the magic mass text, the magic mass email, the easy button, whatever it is. I have been following you and what you're doing. So first of all, kind of share a little who you are. I want you to talk about what you guys have been able to do just even the last 4 or 5 days to put real experience, real numbers with what's going on. And then we're going to talk about mindset and just the nuts and bolts of what has to happen. So quick intro first.
Okay, Damon Gettier, been in real estate for 18 years this year. Licensed in 2002, went through the first boom, which I didn't know was a boom when I was in it. Went through the big crash, which I found out what a big crash was in 07, 8, 9, 10. And then started a team in 04 before teams were ever popular, before it was a cool thing to do. I've sold more than 3,000 houses. I got a team here running Virginia. I've been out of production for, I guess, 8 years now. I don't list or sell houses. I run a team. But, in this sucky economy, we have 43 houses pending right now. We have listed 8 in the last 7 days. Of those 8, just so everybody knows, we listed 6 of them at 8%, 1 at 7%, and 1 at 6%, which means we kept.
You brushed over that really quick. Say it again.
So in the last 8 days, last 7 days, we listed 8. 1 of them at 8%. 6 at 8%, which means we keep 5. 1 at 7%, we keep 4, and then 1 at 6%. And so we've sold 11 houses in the last 7 days. No, we've sold 11 houses since Monday. We sold 11 houses. Market strong. There's a lot of negative out there, and I really believe this world is you get what you give. And if you give negative, you can get negative. And so, man, I'm positive. I'm pumped. Best start to a year we've had ever.
Okay.
We're rocking. We're going to continue to rock it.
Yeah, all those numbers you just gave, this is what you've done in the last 3.5 days, 4 days, whatever it is. Guys, we're going to jump into this. If you're on Facebook Live, please type in your comments. I'm going to try and toggle between a couple different groups. I think we're live in a couple different groups because it's been shared. So I will try to watch it. If I'm not answering your question, if you see the Q&A button because you're on the Zoom event, please type your questions in there. That makes it the easiest to answer. We want to just really keep this real for you, answer your questions. I'm going to warn you now, do not ask Damon a question to which you do not want a 100% honest, not worried about hurting your feelings answer to. He's going to keep it extremely real. Again, just type your questions in Facebook if you're on live there. So, multiple contracts, not just listed, but actually ratified this week. You guys are busy. I know you're taking an approach, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because I know a lot of people are talking about it, but as far as lead gen and what's going on, what is your quick approach on that? And then we're going to get kind of into some other nuts and bolts, but what is your strategy right now?
Well, my strategy is not popular with the masses. I doubled my radio spend. I tripled everything else.
Okay. Everything else, that's Ylopo, Facebook, PPC on FirePoint.
Yep.
Why?
Well, so this is what happens. One, when something like this happens, you have a ton of people stop doing what they're doing. They leave that sector, okay? So the more people stop doing PPC, the cheaper my PPC gets. The more people that pull back on Facebook advertising, the cheaper my Facebook advertising gets. The more people are listening to the radio, the more I want to be on the radio. So I'm a huge advocate of advertising where people are, not trying to get people to see where I am. And so everybody gets their news now from one of these things. So I want to be on this thing as much as possible. Okay. And then the radio, radio's pulling well for us. Ylopo's pulling well for us. PPC. The other thing is this, the cost of all my leads is down significantly. And so my PPC leads are down somewhere between 13, 14%. My Ylopo leads, which are Facebook leads, they're down somewhere around, I think G said mine are around 12% down right now. So I'm saving money, getting more leads, and I've increased my spend.
Well, you know what? Another point on that too. It's not even that they're less expensive, but they're less expensive right now because first of all, people are pulling back their budget, so there's not as much competition, which means you're also not seeing right now when you get those new leads. And we've talked about speed to lead forever and how important it is. Instead of having 5, 6 agents hounding them and calling, depending on the lead source they're coming in from, there's 1 or 2 or probably just 1 right now because people are afraid of picking up the phone and making the call. And there was an interesting stat. You were on a panel earlier today, and I can't remember who said it, but they were tracking their calls, and his stat was they've seen a 300, and I clarified this because I wasn't sure if I heard it right, but 350% increase in the answer rates right now, and overwhelmingly people wanting to talk and ask questions. They're not pissed.
Well, one, people want to know what's going on, and two, any of y'all that have kids, if you're home with kids for any extended amount of time, you do want to have an adult conversation.
So, and I don't want to make this all about just the virus. I mean, we've seen things like this happen, whether it was 9/11 or it was just whatever. We've seen real estate market up and down. And you and I were chatting just before this a little bit with Clayton. And I don't want to be insensitive. When you guys hear myself or somebody say there's opportunity right now, it's not like we're trying like, hey, somebody's going through something. How do we make a buck off of it? There is opportunity right now. But what I think agents need to understand is that the consumer right now is wanting the answers, just like you said, they're wanting to talk. I'm not saying call and just be hard hitting and have a perfect script to try and overcome every objection and find the perfect answer to set the appointment. Just be a freaking human being and listen, answer their question, and give them peace of mind.
Well, I go back to the old Zig Ziglar, give enough people what they want and they'll give you what you want. And the other thing is no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And so, when you call, you don't need to make a sale, just have a conversation. Just have a conversation. I know you're not doing anything right now, but when you do, what do you think you're going to do? What do you think of this? What were your plans before all this crap happened? What are your plans after all this crap?
Yep.
Just a simple conversation. Everybody wants a secret script. Secret script is be human.
Yeah, be your freaking. It's so funny. We're all working from home, so we're in different circumstances. So Tom's downstairs calling either people who are responding to AI texts or new people, opportunities coming to the database, and just heard him very similar. It's like, well, what was your plan? Oh, perfect. So, just asking the same questions. You're still listening, but I think it's just a mindset that we have to know more than ever. We've all heard the analogy 2 ears, 1 mouth, and we struggle with that, especially you. Stop talking and listen. But we have to even more. But I think, the whole topic is it better to have a great script or a mindset right now? And I love you, and I want you to share this. You gave an awesome analogy about not just mindset, but the perception of being the rock for people. Share that. You probably know what I'm talking about. So share that with everybody because it's legit. So if you're multitasking, stop. Just give Damon like a minute. And this is so simple, but it needs to resonate with you.
So I was talking to one of my good friends yesterday. I'm not going to call him out. His name might be Michael, but I'm not going to call him out. But he was like, he's like me. He's down to earth. He's straightforward. But he said, look, I just need some reassurance. Talk to me. What's going on? I'm like, look, dude, look at a table. Above the table, you're like this. You're a rock. You don't move. You're steadfast. You're steady. You're what everybody looks for. Then down below the table, your legs might be going like this right now because you're scrambling, because you're adjusting this and you're adjusting that. You're tweaking this and you're cutting that and you're doing everything. But no one ever knows the stress you're going through because you're the rock. You're the foundation that keeps everything going. If you have a wife, you have kids, you have a husband, you have a significant other, if you've got a team that you're running, you've got to be the rock. The biggest thing is this: to the public, you've got to be the rock. Because if you buy into the drama, then you're just going to make it worse. And if they don't want to hear the drama, they're not going to tune into you.
Yeah. So, what's so crazy about that, and I was thinking about this when you were saying it earlier, is again, everybody, whenever there's a looming shift, I mean, there's a shift of some sort coming. We don't know how big or what it is. You start panicking and we lose sight of what we know every day to be true and what works. And if you think about what Damon just said about being above water, being the rock, but below your legs, you're doing this. think back to a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. I don't freaking care. Think back to '08 and '09. And when shit's going on in a normal market, whether it's an inspection or a low appraisal, and everybody's panicking, we instinctively know, at least most agents, I think, to be that rock. And below, you're like, okay, what do I need to do? How do I challenge this? Or how do I overcome this? Or what contracts do I need to do to do mold remediation? What we do that naturally. And I don't know if we're buying in to too much just, I don't want to say buying in a media. Maybe I shouldn't say that because I think there's a lot of good advice, but there's just so much that we're losing track of just common sense and stopping and bringing to the table some just that rock, that sense of calm for our clients. I mean, the reason they need agents in their lives, they're not going through this all the time, guys. They don't know what's happening. And we are that advisor that's taking them through this massive process. And yeah, we all have unknown what's going on with today's situation. But again, we've been through this in several. So be that rock. If you don't know the answers, be below, moving around and find them and adapt. So, I love that analogy.
So there has not been a week in probably the last 5 years that I've had a sales meeting that I don't tell my team that your job is to be the non-emotional negotiator.
Yep.
Because as soon as you get emotional, you serve the client no good, and then might as well not even have you. The only reason they have us, let's be clear, is because we're supposed to be non-emotional. We're supposed to be facts and figures, the voice of reason. Yep. So because there's something going on outside of our control, does not give us permission to stop being the non-emotional person. Yep. I'm not saying you can't have emotions, but in a transaction, you're a business person. Be non-emotional. And one thing, what are the facts? Fact number one, okay? People will continue to have babies. That's a reason people buy and sell.
Big boom of babies probably in 9 months.
Probably a big boom of two of these things, babies and divorces, okay?
Divorce is probably before the babies.
Divorces before the babies because of everybody locked up in the house. But there's really 5 things that are going to happen in every market: babies, marriage, divorce, job transfers, and then downsize. Those things are always going to happen, okay? So those don't go away. The other fact is this: lowest interest rates in the history of interest rates. The lowest interest rates in the history of interest rates, okay? On a $300,000 house, the difference between 3.5% and 6.5% in interest only is $199,000 over 30 years. $199,000. That's a fact, okay? The other fact is we still have a shortage of housing. We have more buyers than we do sellers, okay? Everyone needs to work with the facts right now, because let's just say we hit pause on this market for 30 days. What's going to happen in 45 days? More buyers, listings will come on the market, still won't be enough. Interest rates, the government's going to make sure the interest rates stay down to keep the market going, especially in an election year, let's be honest, okay? All these things are going to happen. So you're going to come out of it, but you've got to be steady going through it.
I think the consistency is key here. I didn't ask your permission on this. Somebody messaged me through Facebook. Circling back to the beginning, you were talking about of the listings you've taken, a good chunk of those, somebody was actually listening and caught that your listings weren't the typical 3 and 3 or 2.5 and 2.5. So you use it. Are you still using the menu, giving people options? Okay, can you talk about that a little bit? Because they're like, they brought that up, and I think this is a nugget. And I think before Damon goes into, man, I'm giving him another compliment here. If anything I've learned from Damon, other than how to tune people out, is he's fantastic at building value at what he and his team were just freaking great at, which is listing and selling homes, but also getting paid for the expertise that they have earned. So tell us a little bit about that so people know.
So first and foremost, I think you've got to own in your brain that you have more value than a real estate agent that graduated real estate school yesterday. First and foremost, you have to own that. Then once you need to be able to explain that and then how you bring that value to the consumer in very easy to understand terms. So one, we know our numbers. I sell my houses for on average 4% more than the market, okay? I sell my houses on average in a third of the time the market does. So I can statistically show the client that sell my homes faster and for more money. Our average sales price is 180, so I'll say 200,000. And this is only if the objection comes up. So first off, on the phone, when they ask the commission, the answer is always, what's your commission?
Wait. Hold on. Again, I got to stop all these agents because they're chasing kids around or yelling at them. This is a nugget of a script right here. Okay, so on the phone, I call in, Damon, saw your advertising or whatever. What's your commission that you charge?
Commission rate is 3 to 5%.
What was it? I'm sorry.
3 to 5%.
Okay. What happens when you say that?
We get the appointment.
Of course you do.
We get the appointment.
Guys.
And the thing is, so many agents are, you ask the question and they give the BS answer. Well, it's negotiable. Well, it depends on the house. Well, but that'd be like me calling up and saying, hey, I'm interested in this truck. How much is it? Well, it depends. It doesn't depend, y'all. Be honest with people. They ask you a question, answer it. Now, did they ask you what the co-broke was? No. I don't set the co-broke. I'm going to let them set the co-broke. So it's 3 to 5%. When we get there, we show them our listing. We have a listing menu that delineates exactly what we do. And then we don't even add the commission on the menu. Our commission is, 5%. And then we suggest a co-broke of 3%. And by the way, we also collect a $6.95 admin fee.
I'm going to put you on the spot. So
Yep.
you can't say no. If you guys are watching this, type in your email address because I have a version that you have to update. Damon's going to kill me. But I have an example of this menu that we've shared at a couple conferences. And first of all, we have people limiting belief that they can't use these menus and do this in a normal market. Damon just proved he can do it in this market. So if you want a copy of that listing menu, type your email address either on the Facebook Live or in the chat section, and we will follow up with you on a copy of that menu. Now,
let me throw out one other thing real quick, Gabe, just a caveat. We, of 8 listing appointments, do you want to take a guess? Hold on. We listed 8. Do you want to take a guess how many listing appointments we had?
I mean, I have an idea, but I'm curious what other people, I heard somebody else chime in there. I'm going to guess 8.
8.
8.
8 for 8. Yeah, if we list it, hold on
a second, I'm going to mute some people.
There you go. So we listed 8 out of 8. And that's typical. We list about 90% of our appointments.
Okay. Guys, it's incredible. So I see some emails coming in. We'll get that sent out. And maybe what we'll do on this as well, I think that listing menu is a little bit like a gym membership, if I'm being honest. Maybe you don't know how to use it. I think we just get in our own ways a lot. So maybe what we'll do is when we send out that listing appointment, maybe we'll send a link and invite anybody who has that to maybe spend 20, 30 minutes and you can show us how to present it.
Hey, while we're talking about, let's pause for 1 second. 2-part listings. Okay. Gabe, what, the 2-part, I need to come look at your house first so I can go back and create a CMA. Yep. So I can come back out and list your house. Yep. Does anybody know what, I mean, we don't have anybody participating here. So 2-part listing means you do your first appointment, I come in and list it, and then you come back and do nothing because I already listed it. Okay.
Yeah. Let's be honest, those agents are doing the 2-step. Hey, yeah, when can I come see it? You do the walkthrough. Okay, thanks. I'm going to go pull comps and do all this crap. How do you do it? How do you do it in 1 step?
So first off, this is going to offend some people. Get over it. All right. These are boxes, y'all. They're boxes. Don't romanticize it any more than it is. It's a box. Okay. And if you've been doing this business any time at all, you know exactly what that box is worth. As soon as they called, you told the address, you looked it up. You're like, yep, that's how much that box is worth. And it might be a little bit different once you get in it, but I'm talking about this much. It's a box. Okay. You don't need to do your CMA, do your equity eval, whatever you want to do on that. Go to the house and you can adjust on the fly. Oh my God, I didn't realize you really have the whole thing. Adjust. If you have experience, you know how to do this. You don't need to do a 2-step. We had a 2-step last week that somebody did. Allie got a call with my wife. And in between step 1 and 2, we listed the house and we sold them another house. We double-ended it in between their 2-step process. If you do a 2-step, I'm going to eat your lunch.
It's true. I'm laughing just because for years I really fought this idea. And we could go for an hour just talking about this whole process and in-house versus wherever. But man, don't fight it. There are smart people out there that have already figured this out, and we can reinvent it. And David, you're doing it right now. I mean, it's happening, and you can do it right now. So, I mean, here's the other thing too. We know that people are asking questions. They're all home. We're seeing them online. We're seeing the traffic go crazy. We're seeing on our own website that you're tracking all this. I mean, we're talking about mindset and doing this. This is also where just you finally have an excuse to sit home and pick this damn thing up and use it, or dial through FirePoint or whatever you're using. Dial in your systems, right? If you don't have incredible workflows that are helping you automate, because we are going to get busy, right? We're already busy talking to people, and everything we're doing right now, when everybody's feeling safe to get back out, and we're going to be going crazy. Now is the time. Get these systems and get your workflows built. Tweak those workflows, whether they're in RealVolve or whatever. Get in there so that when you're turning in those agreements, it's automating all that process and triggering the people on your team or your help or whoever it is, so that you guys can be busy. Because right now, I mean, have you had a better time to focus on calls or getting your systems in place?
No, I mean, this is when you build your pipelines. I mean, I couldn't imagine a better time to set up your spring than when basically the government's making you set up your spring. That's better than any team leader, isn't it? I mean, you have to set up your spring. If you're going to be successful, you need to get on the phones, pound the phones, and build that pipeline.
Okay. So I'm going to throw a curveball at you. We didn't actually talk about this. So, I mean, obviously you said you increased your lead flow. You and I have been really big on online lead generation. Let's get away from lead generation. What are you guys doing in your business right now? Since I know your team is dialing like crazy because I can see all the numbers in your system. What are you guys focusing on? Who are you calling? What are some of the, besides lead gen, what are you guys doing to just really get the most out and stay in front of people?
Okay, so you already know we do a fair amount of lead generation, but we spend more money on our existing leads than we do on new leads. Okay, we have a good database. Our database is probably 12 years old. It's got 44, maybe 45,000 leads in there. And you can do a whole nother seminar on sunsetting at another time. But we spend a good amount of time of our money of going into our database and reinvigorating it or bringing it back to life.
Right.
And so I'm a huge proponent of working smarter, not harder. I like working hard, but I like working smarter more than harder. And so what we do is we have our agents concentrating on the leads in our system that are doing something. Okay. And of course, we use FirePoint. By the way, I first officially used our FirePoint. Just want to point that out. But we use FirePoint, okay? And so in FirePoint, I can see who the most active is. And so we can either call someone who hadn't been on the site in 7 years, or I can call someone that's been on the site in 7 minutes. And the one that's been on the site in 7 minutes is a much more relevant consumer than one that hasn't been on there for 7 years. Right. And so we spend the majority of our time, almost all of our time, and a good portion of our advertising budget working on the leads we already have to keep them engaged with us.
I think that's key too, because you and I have tracked this for years, and ramping up your lead gen and everything right now. I think you said you increased it 200 or 300%. Those aren't your deals in the next 30 days, the next 60 days, the next 90 days. We know that's feeding the funnel down below or out a ways.
Let's talk about that for a second, because there's some people in here that are going to pause. Right. Okay. And you and I are in a group, and in that group, there are some people, some fairly heavy hitters that were talking about pausing. And y'all, pausing scares the living hell out of me. Can I say that? Can I say hell?
You can say it.
Scares the hell out of me. Okay. Reason it scares the hell out of me is this. All right. If you pause now, it's just like if you're an agent and you don't prospect this week. If you don't prospect this week, in 60, 90 days, you're like, man, nothing's happening. I'm not closing anything. I can go back in your system and see what you did 60, 90 days ago and tell you exactly why you suck now. It's because you sucked 60, 90 days ago. If you pause lead gen for a month, month and a half, I can promise you in 14 to 18 months, there's going to be this great big lull in your business. You're like, I don't know what's going on. It's spring market. I should be having something. It's because you stopped doing today what you needed to do to fill your funnel for them. So right. I would make strategic moves, not knee-jerk, and not reactionary moves.
All right. Now I feel like I'm just having a conversation with you, but all right, Coach Damon. So I'm going to keep doing that, which means, and if I increase it, that's more time I'm following up, on new leads because we're going to hopefully follow the rule of three and all that. But there's got to be some value. You've got a database. You've been selling homes for years and years and years. How am I focusing on that and taking care of that and reaching out to my existing database and being present or my existing past clients? How do you recommend really getting that done right now?
There's two things, and most people can't afford these, so I'm being sarcastic, okay? There's a thing called Google Calendar, okay? I have Google Suites. Is it free for everybody or just in Google Suites? I don't know.
Probably just you.
I mean, the Google Calendar, it's an insane product, y'all. Learn to work a schedule. Learn to work a schedule. I think I've been on 9 calls today. I haven't been late for a single one, not a single one, all right, because I use my calendar. So Google Calendar, number one. Number two, I like it better when I can see people. But anyway, who watches TV anymore for the news? You know? So, Gabe, I ask you, if to the typical person watching this, if you or I were to tell them, hey, look, I'll pay for a TV commercial for you every single day for the next year, and I'll pay to put it on the air, do you think every one of them would raise their hand and say, me, 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 me?
Probably.
Everybody's going to social media for their information, okay? Everyone. And I'm not going to point anybody out, but I got some coaching clients, I don't want to take the phone and like knock them in the head because they don't want to embrace it, because they don't like the way they look on video. They don't know what to say. It doesn't matter, y'all. Get
Let it go. Let it go.
Look, I'm going to tell you, my wife, gorgeous girl. Gorgeous, okay? Me, not so much. I just don't watch mine. I watch hers. She's prettier than I am. I go look at her videos, and I just record mine and put them out there. I hit record. Gabe tells me, hey, you got to reverse it so that your logo, where's that? Your logo. Gabe sends me a message like, hit the flip button. I'm like, damn it, hit the flip button. Hit the flip button and put it out there. I don't watch it again. I didn't know it was reversed because I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Who cares? Big hint on this. Nobody wants to do Facebook Live, okay? If you just record a video, put it on Facebook, only the people that you interact with per the algorithm will see it. Only the people you interact with. So if you got 5,000 friends, you interact with 100 people will see it. If you hit the Facebook Live button, it sends a notification to all 5,000. So while you might not want to do all your videos live, 1 to 2 a week should be live to start engaging those other people you have on Facebook. Here's your TV, free.
I mean, the whole thing is that I can't do this. I'm not ready. My makeup's not on, or I haven't combed my hair, or I haven't shaved, or what. I mean, you just have to get over. I was teasing Damon earlier. I sent him a little video. Just let it go. Let it go. We were talking about video and stuff, but it doesn't matter. I mean, and just be authentic. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, and I don't like, again, I'm trying not to focus on where we are today and what's going on in the news. It doesn't matter. Every day you need that authenticity. And I think even more today, nobody's looking for a white knight to ride up on a horse and save them. They want people to talk to and ask questions to. And we as an industry need to go at this. Like, it's still business. We need to be there, and probably even more so, because we will bounce back, I believe, faster than a lot of other businesses and industries, because the demand is here based on what you were saying earlier. The interest rates, I think we're going to see an increase in supply, which we've all been asking for. We've all been wanting some sort of a market adjustment or something. It's here. It's what are we going to do with it? So I'm going to shift gears here a little bit. And again, somebody else just messaged me what are all the email addresses for. Damon was talking about his listing menu that's allowing him to get 20% more, 30% more. What's your than the typical agent on his listings, and how he's doing it. And it's all on this listing menu that he shared with me, and we offered to share it with you guys. So if you want a copy of that listing menu, that's why everybody's putting their email addresses in.
So Gabe, actually it'd be 66. So if it's 5 instead of 3, it'd be 66% more.
There we go. Okay. There we go. I mean, even more. Hell, I'll take an increase of 30%, but he's getting 60% more. All right, so I'm going to shift gears here a little bit. There's a lot of scared agents out there right now too. A lot of agents got into this, were part-time because they knew somebody in the business. They fell into a couple deals. We know we're going to see them leave. We've seen that happen a couple times now, as long as we've been doing real estate. But there are a lot of great agents that were doing fairly well, doing better than they probably were at their previous job. selling more than the average. So they're probably in that, 6 to 10 or 12. But they're nervous, right? I don't think the deals are going to be as easy. I guarantee you they're not. A lot of those leads are going to be going to these teams that have market share and brand awareness. Um, are you seeing an opportunity for them to join teams? What are you seeing? I know you're hiring. What are you hearing there? And what are the opportunities for agents that don't know where to go, but know that there's probably going to be a big influx they may miss?
So you and I both are fairly well connected around the country with big teams. Okay. And I don't know a single big team that A is not hiring and B has not asked for a correction for years. And the difference is 8 weeks ago, experience really didn't matter that much. Okay. Today, experience matters a whole lot more than it did 8 weeks ago. Like all of our radio, so I manage some radio around the country from different agents. All of our radio spots have changed, hitting on the experience, hitting on, Damon sold over 3,000 houses in challenging times like this. You want a real estate agent that has been through it. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be a shift towards experience.
I'm going to ask you a blunt question because you're blunt with me and with everybody else. Is that ego, or why is that why that message?
Well, you already know the answer because I'm the least egotistical. I hate being on video and everything. All I care about is deposits in the bank, y'all. No, it's not. It's because it's experience. It's as long as I can document it and I can beat someone else. It has nothing to do with ego. In my market, it's really weird because I do so much marketing. People think you're a different person, even though you're not. My friends laugh about it because they're like, "Oh my God, they think you're this, but you're not." It's just. It's not ego and it's not bragging. It's getting that phone to ring because I don't meet the clients 99% of the time. My agents do. And I'm feeding the agents. I have two responsibilities in life, one to my family, one to my agents. Those are my responsibility. I have to feed those people.
Yep. Well, and and you're right. I mean, it's not ego. And I've heard a lot, but I'm going to steal one of your words. Y'all, right now, people are concerned and they've got questions. And I do agree 100% that experience is going to matter. And they're going to want somebody who's endorsed by somebody they know or that has the stats behind it. And if it's a fear of yours right now, posting stats, and we see agents all over the place posting, oh, I listed a house today or I sold a house today. Those are one-offs, and that is not telling your story. You need to pull stats. Are you selling faster? Are you selling at a higher price than the average than what the market is? You need to make yourself stand out, and you need to have those ready. You think you've been competing for listings in a strong market? A lot of times you can buy those listings by just offering a higher price. That is not the concern. When Tom just took a listing and they're like, what is the price? What is the price to get it done? They didn't go with who offered the best price. They went with who had the most experience and who was just honest with them. They felt they went with whoever was honest and actually listed with Tom at a lower price than what we know other agents were telling them because they left their CMA with recommended list price on the counter. They wanted experience. They wanted to know that they were in good hands and there was a system in place. And for them, it was also a team. But the point of this is there's a lot of scared agents because teams are hiring, teams are looking for incredible talent. And what we've even just seen is when you have large databases, we're seeing the demand go up already. And we're going to need more agents to take care of that demand and service it because if they don't get it from you, they're going to find it somewhere else.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, if you're scared to spend the money right now, if you're worried about the future, a team gives. So on my team, how I phrase it to my team, even when we're hiring, is look, count as my business as your salary. It's dependable, it's predictable, it doesn't go anywhere. I never cut off leads. I haven't cut off leads since 2002. I don't stop it. My business is predictable. Treat your business as your bonus. You cannot predict your sphere and past clients. You can't. You just don't have enough of them. It's not a predictable source of business. Mine's predictable. Mine's your salary. Yours is your bonus.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and somebody just posted, I'm trying to monitor too many threads or streams where we're at. Because they chimed in, we were talking, if you do start lead gen today, if you are in that boat, especially if it's online, Google, Facebook, any of that, even the stuff that we're generating for you at FirePoint, we're going to be right up front and tell you that is not business realistically for 9 to 18 months. 9 probably on the early side. So they chimed in like, if I start lead genning now, I can't afford to wait a year for a business. I get it. That is why you never, that's back to Damon's point. That's why you never stop doing it, right? But you know what? If you're in that boat and you have concerns and your priorities to your family as well, that's why I wanted to bring it up. There's nothing wrong with joining a team. In fact, I think a lot of times the buyer's agents and the listing partners on the team are way better off than the team leads, because right now I guarantee you those team leads with those legs that David were talking about doing this, making the decision, shit, okay, see, I cuss too. Do I ramp up budget when everybody's pulling back, when we have uncertainty, right? What's going on? The teams take on the risk and have the systems in place. You know, they have your real vault workflows, they have FirePoint, they have Ylopo, they have whatever it is, they've already got this tech stack, these systems together in place, and they are looking. So there's a home for you. And it's not, I think ego gets in the way there a little bit of agents who have done well over the last couple of years, but there's a big difference in what you've been doing and what you will do, I believe, in the next 24, 36 months based on the tools and the database you have available to you.
I think everybody needs to figure out whether they want their name on their sign or they want to deposit in their bank account. And that's two totally different things.
And I can tell you right now, I've spoke with a lot of people in the last 7 to 10 days that have their name on the sign that are scared to death, and they don't know because they might not have their systems in place. Because just because you sign up and do lead gen and pay for FirePoint or whatever, a gym membership, you still have to show up and work, right? Nothing. You have to implement, you have to build it, and you have to follow through on what you need to do to make it happen. So, all right, we're 40 in. I like to try and keep these at 30. Damon, we started this off. We kind of went all over the place like we do.
We do it every time.
Somebody asked me again on the emails. Guys, if you want the emails, it's for Damon's listing menu that helps him get average commissions of 7, 8, 9% on his listings. You have a guarantee, right? You guys are offering a guarantee.
59.
59 days are free. So that's what the email addresses are for. If you want that, put in your email address. We'll send it. We'll probably actually send it with a link to train that. I already volunteered Damon to do a training on that to show you guys how to use it. Because right now, my goal, I want to up the level of expertise in the market. I know Damon does as well. So we started off with talking scripts versus mindset. Summarize just a takeaway, and I don't want to make it about virus or illness. I want to make it about business. So how do you summarize what's going on right now and the best advice just in general you can give someone to wrap this up?
It really hadn't changed from anything I ever say. It's head down, feet forward. Head down, feet forward. Do what you're supposed to do day in and day out. You will. So Mike Novak, good friend of ours, I can't say his quote, can I?
Which one?
The one that's FUCK, your goals, focus on your habits.
Oh, well, no, but you just did. So
I didn't say it, I spelled it.
Okay.
But no, screw your goals, y'all.
Yeah.
Focus on your habits.
That's how I have my presentation. Screw your goals, focus on your habits.
The real word is the other one. But it's forget goals, forget everything else, forget all the noise. Head down, feet forward, do what you're supposed to do every single day. And it works.
It does.
As soon as you pick your head up and get involved in the noise, nothing works anymore. Head down, feet forward.
I love it. It's simple. And to me, and this is not a FirePoint thing, I don't care what system you have. Do not cut your system. And I know I saw you talking about this the other day. At the end of the day, you need your systems in place so that you're monitoring your business and your buyers and sellers have somewhere to live online. So your all-in-one needs to be together. Get into your workflows. If you don't have workflows, RealVolve seriously has the best workflows I've ever seen. You are at a desk, you're quarantined at home, you're trying to escape your kids, whatever it is. Now is the time to focus on your systems and your processes and get them in place, because these are what are going to not just get you through this, but accelerate so you come out on top through this, and what's going to carry you through the bounce back, through the next market, and through the next downturn. These systems have to get in place, and I can't see a better time for you to focus on them and get them on place so that you can focus on those habits and form some good ones.
So let me log and say two things real quick. First and foremost, what Gabe just said on your CRM, and I can't remember what I was talking. I was talking to a high level group, and they're talking, what can I cut? What can I cut? What can I cut? I'm like, the last thing you can cut your CRM. You cut your CRM, get out of the business. Okay. And I don't care what CRM it is. I don't. Make sure it has an IDX, because nobody cares about your BS emails. Your, oh my God, the status of the market, blah, blah. Nobody cares about that crap. They want to see pictures of houses, pretty pictures of houses.
You got
That's
that
it.
from me. Pretty pictures of pretty homes. Sorry.
Okay. They want to see pretty pictures of pretty houses. One. Second thing is, I don't remember what the second thing is because you never filmed the first thing. Oh, I know what it is we're 10 years into that year cycle anyways, y'all. This business cycles, recession, boom, recession, boom, recession, every 8 years. We're 10 years in anyways, okay? So this is not going to be the recession. Or let's be clear, this is not going to be the housing recession. It will virtually never happen in an election year because nobody's going to allow it to happen in an election year. But it's going to happen sometime in the future. This is a great test and a great precursor. Get your systems and get your house in order. Get your systems in place. Get your pipelines in place. Learn to keep big, fat, full pipelines of business coming in, okay? And get ready. And look, I love this. This excites me. Real estate had started to get a little boring 8 weeks ago. I'm excited now because I'm going to kick ass and take names.
You're needed more. Man, head down, feet forward. I love it. And everybody, we're wrapping this up, but you need to realize that if you don't get it through your head, say it in the mirror, I don't care what it is, these coming weeks and months, you are going to be needed more than ever. And for a lot of you that haven't lived through this, I shouldn't say ever, but a lot of you that have been licensed less than 10 years, get ready because you're going to be very popular. You need to be ready, but you have to have those systems in place.
All right, before you sign off, you just got to do it. If you want to be relevant, it's free, y'all. Get on your phone, get on Facebook, talk to your people. Be the rock. If you want to be relevant, you can't be relevant sitting behind a desk saying nothing. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't lead from silence.
Turn off the TV, pick up your phone. Damon, I appreciate it. We will send out your menu. We'll get it out there. We'll do a follow-up to this. If you're watching on a replay, again, if you want that listing menu, throw your email address in there. We'll get it out to you. Damon, my friend, thank you. Keep posting all your success stories because I think it's inspiring people. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Love you.
See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.